So I looked and I said, is there any way I can improve that? I think I can. I think I can improve it. Let's darken the house. Let's watch the difference. If I use a darker paint for the house, okay, there's the house in shadow. Okay, so there's the house in shadow. Now let's put the white of the reflection. And again, it's not going to show up until we get something else on there. And this is where you get to play. You get to see what happens if I do this or if I do that. What happens if I really lighten up the sky? If I make the sky lighter than it is here, what will it look like? Because the painting is really all these relationships. It's a relationship between this shape, that shape, this shape, that shape, that shape. So if they're not working together, it's the painting's not going to work. So I'm going to lighten up the sky. Let's see what that change in that relationship does. Now I have a lighter sky and a darker building. All right. Now on this one, I said I'm going to keep the grass a number 3 because I'm pretty sure that's pretty close. That's pretty close to what it was. So there's the number 3 grass. Okay. The path, of course, is white. We're going to leave that the same. That's not going to change one way or the other. Okay. And a dark bush. See how quick I'm doing them? I'm literally doing them real quick with a knife. I'm not interested in if it looks like a bush or not. I'm just trying to work out this relationship. So I lightened this one. I darkened this one. I think I said, what if I put a really dark line right along here that were some bushes right here? That would make this stand out even more. And the painting's really all about the sparkle on the water, so that's why I want to do it. So I'm going to put a dark right here. Watch. Watch how having that dark right there really makes that white pop. Can't get it quite dark enough. There we go. See, if I have a real dark right there, I get a better look of sparkle right there. Now that's the focal point. See how this is already better than this one. You can tell it. This one's kind of mamby-pamby. It's all in the middle. There's not much going on. But when I darken the house and I put these in, all of a sudden, now what happens if I lighten up the grass? I don't want to do another one, but I'm going to show you how it looks now. But then what if I lighten up the grass? So you can do one and then play with it. Now I'm going to change the water too. I'm going to change the grass and the water. Let's see what happens if I change the grass and the water. What happens if I make that water a little bit darker than it was right there? And what happens if I lighten the grass? So I'm going to take this from a 3 or a very, very dark 3, and I'm going to make it into like a 2.5. I'm going to lighten it about a shade, maybe one value. Let's see what happens if I scrape a little bit of white in there and lighten that grass up. Oh yeah. See how much better that grass looks than this one? It's just a little bit lighter. It's like a half a shade lighter. So that tells me I'm going in the right direction. So by doing all this, doing this and playing with it 2-3 times, I can lighten the sky a little bit more. What happens if I lighten the building? I think the building's just a little dark, don't you? What happens if I lighten that building just a skosh? Watch how much better it looks. You'll be able to see the change right when I do it. I'm lightening up the house. Now the house is not as dark as it was. It's a little bit darker than the grass, but not much. Now look how much better. Squint your eyes, and that's what you do. Whenever I'm talking about values in some of my workshops, I always say squint your eyes, because when you squint your eyes, it's what really is there. When your eyes are wide open, you see too much stuff. So squint your eyes, and look how much better this one is than this one, with the house being darker, with the grass being a little bit lighter. So you can work it all out in black and white. You can also take a shot of your painting or of whatever's in color, and you can Photoshop it. You can take all the saturation out of it, take all the color out of it. In the Windows program, I think you can do it in the Windows Photo Editor, and also in the Photoshop. Take all the color out of it, turn it into black and white, and squint at it and see which one looks better. You'll be able to see. I think if you just squint now, you can see that this one looks better than that one. So then you paint it this way. You paint it with this in mind, that the values have to be like whichever one. You could do it 4 times. And maybe you do another one down here that looks even better than that one. Play around with it, see what you change. Maybe you change the sky, maybe you change the bush, whatever, and change it and do 4 of them, pick out the one that works the best, then run with that on your big painting. And I think you'll be much happier with it. So that kind of shows you the importance of doing value sketches, either in paint or with a magic marker or whatever, and working it out. It's almost planning it. It's planning it before you take off and do the big one. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. If you want to see more about me or the stuff I do, go to MikeRooneyStudios.blogspot.com.